The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Ecclesiastes 1:1. King Solomon, traditionally identified as the author of Ecclesiastes, holds a significant place in Israel's history. 1. Divine appointment. Solomon is seen as divinely chosen by God to rule Israel, emphasizing God's direct involvement in Israel's governance. 2. Wisdom. Gift. His legendary wisdom is viewed as a special gift from God to benefit Israel exclusively, not other nations. 3. Temple builder. Solomon's construction of the first temple in Jerusalem is considered a pivotal moment in Israel's covenant relationship with God. 4. Peak of Israelite kingdom. His reign represents the golden age of Israel's united monarchy, symbolizing God's blessings on his chosen people. 5. Covenant continuer. As David's son, Solomon represents the continuation of God's covenant promises to Israel through the Davidic line. Six. Judge and lawgiver. His role in administering justice is seen as an application of God's law, specifically for Israel. 7. Spiritual legacy. Despite later failings, his writings, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, are viewed as divinely inspired wisdom exclusively for Israel's benefit. 8. Warning. Example. His eventual turn to idolatry serves as a cautionary tale for Israelites about the dangers of forsaking God's exclusive covenant. Solomon's life and reign are interpreted as evidence of God's special relationship with Israel, providing wisdom and leadership specifically for his chosen people, rather than for humanity at large. KJV, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Ecclesiastes 1:2. Vanity in the Bible, particularly from the perspective of the Old Testament, is often described in terms of meaninglessness or futility. The term is famously explored in the book of Ecclesiastes, which begins with the phrase, "Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity." Ecclesiastes 1:2, KJV. Here, vanity translates from the Hebrew word hebel, which conveys a sense of something ephemeral, fleeting, and ultimately unsubstantial. In the New Testament, the concept of vanity is also addressed. For example, in Romans 8:20-21, KJV, Paul writes, "For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God." This passage suggests that the futility experienced by creation is part of a temporary condition that will eventually be resolved through divine intervention and redemption. The overarching theme in both testaments is that earthly pursuits and material possessions are transient and do not provide ultimate fulfillment. Instead, true meaning and purpose are found in spiritual pursuits and alignment with God's will. This understanding aligns with the broader biblical narrative that emphasizes the temporary nature of worldly things compared to the eternal nature of God's kingdom and promises. KJV, "What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun?" Ecclesiastes 1-3 holds profound significance for God's chosen people. The verse which asks, "What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun?" is not interpreted as a universal philosophical inquiry, but as a specific message tailored for the Israelites. This question is viewed through the lens of Israel's unique covenant relationship with God. It serves as a prompt for the chosen people to evaluate their earthly pursuits in light of their divine calling. The mention of labor is understood not as a general reference to human effort, but specifically to the work of Israelites. This interpretation reinforces the idea that even seemingly universal statements in Scripture are actually intended exclusively for God's elect nation. The phrase "under the sun" is seen as emphasizing the temporal, earthly realm, deliberately contrasting it with the eternal promises God has made to Israel. This contrast is intended to guide Israelites towards prioritizing their spiritual heritage over worldly concerns. It's a reminder of their higher purpose as God's chosen people, encouraging them to look beyond mere earthly toil to their divine mission. Furthermore, this verse is understood as preparatory wisdom, setting the stage for a deeper appreciation of Torah obedience. By questioning the ultimate value of worldly labor, it points Israelites towards the supreme importance of following God's law, which was given exclusively to them. This interpretation aligns with the doctrine's view that all Scripture, including wisdom literature, is primarily concerned with reinforcing Israel's special status and obligations. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. Ecclesiastes 1:4, which states, "One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever," holds special significance for God's chosen people. This verse is not interpreted as a universal observation about the cyclical nature of life, but as a specific message to Israel about their enduring covenant with God. The passing of generations is seen as referring to the continuity of the Israelite people through time, emphasizing their unbroken lineage as God's elect. The earth's permanence is understood as a metaphor for the everlasting nature of God's promises to Israel, reinforcing the idea that while individual Israelites may come and go, the nation's special relationship with God remains constant. This interpretation aligns with the doctrine's view that all Scripture, even seemingly general statements, is primarily directed at and relevant to Israel. The verse serves to remind Israelites of their unique place in God's eternal plan, contrasting the temporality of human life with the permanence of their divine covenant, thus encouraging faithfulness and obedience across generations. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. Ecclesiastes 1:5, which states, "The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose," carries a profound and specific message for God's chosen people. This verse is not viewed as a mere observation of natural phenomena, but as a divinely inspired metaphor for Israel's unique journey and covenant relationship with God. The rising and setting of the sun is interpreted as symbolizing the cyclical nature of Israel's history, their periods of obedience and disobedience, exile and return, struggle and triumph. The sun's haste to return to its place of rising is seen as representing God's unfailing faithfulness to Israel, always bringing them back to their covenantal purpose despite temporary setbacks or dispersions. This interpretation reinforces the doctrine's belief that even seemingly mundane descriptions in Scripture contain deeper spiritual truths exclusively relevant to Israel. The verse serves as a reminder to Israelites of God's constancy and the enduring nature of their special status, encouraging them to remain faithful through all of life's cycles, assured of their permanent place in God's plan, regardless of temporary circumstances. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again. Ecclesiastes 1:6-7, which states, "The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again," holds deep significance specifically for God's chosen people. These verses are not seen as mere observations of natural phenomena, but as divinely inspired metaphors for Israel's unique spiritual journey and covenant relationship with God. The wind's circular motion is interpreted as symbolizing the cyclical nature of Israel's history, their periods of obedience and disobedience, exile and return. This cycle is seen as a part of God's plan for refining and preserving his chosen people. The rivers flowing into the sea without filling it represents the continuous flow of divine wisdom and blessings to Israel, which never exhausts God's infinite resources. The return of the rivers to their source is viewed as Israel's constant spiritual renewal and return to God, emphasizing the eternal nature of their covenant. This interpretation reinforces the doctrine's belief that all Scripture, even descriptions of natural processes, contains deeper spiritual truths exclusively relevant to Israel. These verses serve as a reminder to Israelites of the constancy of God's care and the enduring nature of their special status, encouraging them to remain faithful through all of life's cycles, assured of their permanent place in God's plan. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, See, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. Ecclesiastes 1:11 KJV states, There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. This verse reflects on the transient nature of human memory and legacy. The book of Ecclesiastes, attributed to the preacher, traditionally understood to be Solomon, explores the meaning of life and the human experience, often expressing a sense of futility or vanity in earthly pursuits. The verse suggests that the achievements, events, and people of the past are forgotten over time, highlighting that despite efforts to make a lasting impact, most human endeavors eventually fade from collective memory. Additionally, it extends this idea into the future, indicating that future events and achievements will also be forgotten by subsequent generations. This emphasizes the continuity of human forgetfulness and the impermanence of human accomplishments. The thematic implications include the ephemeral nature of life, humility, and a focus on the eternal. The verse underscores the fleeting nature of human existence and invites readers to reflect on what truly holds lasting value beyond temporal achievements. From the perspective of the exclusive doctrine of the Israelites, this verse could remind the scattered Israelites about the futility of their scattered condition, encouraging them to seek unity and identity in their covenant with God. There is no value in an Israelite man's legacy unless he is committed to the covenant. There is no profit in death, because one will not remember anything when dead. Overall, Ecclesiastes 1:11 serves as a profound reminder of the impermanence of human endeavors and the importance of prioritizing spiritual over material pursuits. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Ecclesiastes 1:15 KJV states, That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. This verse, attributed to the preacher, traditionally understood to be Solomon, reflects on the inherent limitations and imperfections of life and human efforts. It highlights the futility of human attempts to rectify all wrongs and to meet every need, pointing to a deeper spiritual truth about the human condition and our dependence on divine intervention. The first part of the verse, that which is crooked cannot be made straight, suggests that there are certain flaws, injustices, and imperfections in the world that cannot be corrected by human effort. The term crooked symbolizes things that are bent out of shape, corrupt, or morally wrong. The preacher acknowledges that human beings lack the power to fix all wrongs or to bring perfect justice and order to the world. This reflects the limitations of human capability and the persistence of some problems despite our best efforts. The second part, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered, points to the innumerable deficiencies and lacks that exist in the world. Wanting means lacking or deficient, and the phrase implies that the number of these deficiencies is so vast that they cannot be counted. It highlights the pervasive and overwhelming nature of unmet needs and unfulfilled desires in human life. Human limitations. Ecclesiastes 1:15 underscores the limitations of human power and wisdom. It suggests that despite our best efforts, we cannot correct every flaw or meet every need. This recognition of human limitations invites humility and a realistic understanding of our capabilities. Imperfection of the world. The verse acknowledges the imperfect and fallen state of the world. There are many things beyond human control that remain unresolved and imperfect. This recognition of the world's inherent imperfections encourages a sense of acceptance and a focus on what truly matters. Need for divine intervention. Implicit in this acknowledgement is the need for divine intervention. The limitations highlighted in the verse point to the necessity of looking beyond human effort to find true solutions and rectification. This can be interpreted as an invitation to rely on God, who alone has the power to straighten what is crooked and fulfill what is lacking. It suggests that ultimate fulfillment and justice are found not in human endeavors, but in divine grace and intervention. Proverbs 6:12-16. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, he deviseth mischief continually, he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Proverbs 6:12-16 adds to this understanding by describing the characteristics of a wicked person. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, he deviseth mischief continually, he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. This passage highlights the behaviors that lead to divine disfavor and destruction. It reinforces the idea that wickedness and deceit are ultimately futile and lead to ruin. Psalms 58:3 states, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." This verse emphasizes the innate nature of wickedness in some individuals, suggesting that without divine guidance and adherence to the covenant, people are prone to fall into deceit and sin from a young age. It underscores the need for a spiritual foundation to guide one's life. Job 9:24 provides a broader context of the world's moral state. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? This verse acknowledges the prevalence of injustice and wickedness in the world, suggesting that the moral order is often subverted by those in power. It highlights the necessity of divine justice and intervention to correct these pervasive injustices.